So, we are finally back in a new apartment. You can see the entire room is new, the layout is new, setup is new, but of course I kept the painting. Like most of you guys that talked to me said, you know, where's the painting? Where has it gone? And it's still here. That's why I hung it in the room, because I think it fits like very perfectly. But that is not the reason what this video is about. A lot of people have asked me, and most of you guys have seen the videos already, the leap motion sensor. What is the leap motion? What can we do with the leap motion? The questions that I will answer, and my own thoughts about the leap motion itself. My first video on the leap motion has gotten 21,000 views till this day, and my second video has gotten 6,000 views. I've gotten a lot of questions whether you can use it with Unity, what would you use the leap motion sensor for anyway, and is it still worth buying in 2022? Now in my first video I gave my thoughts about the leap motion for 2021, and of course we're now a year ahead. Is the leap motion still good? Now in this video I'll be going over every single thing you can possibly think about the leap motion. Starting from the unboxing, to using the leap motion, configuring it for Unity, answering your questions from all the videos that I've made about the leap motion, and my own thoughts about the leap motion sensor itself. Now a disclaimer though, I am using the original leap motion, and Ultra Leap has finally produced a new leap motion sensor. Now I do not own that leap motion. I am not sponsored by Leap Motion. By the way, Leap Motion, if you're looking, maybe sponsor me. But anyway, these are just my thoughts, what I think about the leap motion, and again, everything you can think about. It's going to be a long video, I know, but I've gotten so many requests for using the leap motion, telling more about the Unity, making the videos longer, and what exactly do I think about the leap motion. So without further ado, let's hop into the unboxing of the device itself. You guys ask me what do I use for recording videos for my unboxing, both what you're looking at currently. So right now I'm using the Sony a7 I. That's the current camera that you're looking at. And for the unboxing video, I'm using my iPhone 13 Pro Max with the DJI Momo 2. Now this is just for a stabilizer. That means that I can just unbox a video without having to worry. Now, of course, the camera that we're currently looking at, the Sony a7 I, is top mounted, so that's going to be way up too high. And I was thinking of maybe getting a top-mounted camera that points down on top of my desk, but, you know, I'm not that rich. Anyway, let's get back to the unboxing. So, we're currently looking at the leap motion. Now, first things first, the leap motion has been around for a very long time. I've gotten way too many questions from people, what it is, what it does, what can we do with the leap motion, and why you should buy it. Now, before we head into the questions, I first want to unbox the entire leap motion to show you guys what's inside the box, and then we'll get started to the questions. So first what we can see, we got the box right here. It says leapmotion.com. Of course, yours might be in a better condition. I've had this for a very long time. So without further ado, let's see what's inside the box. So first, we get a leap motion card that shows the setup. So step one is to go to leapmotion.com/setup, put in the cable, the USB-C connected leap to the leap motion sensor itself, and then placing the leap motion on the desk or wherever you prefer. Now on the back, it's just a little bit green and it shows a few numbers on the left bottom corner, but nothing too special. Inside, we get the leap motion device itself, and we will go over that in a second. I first want to see what else is inside the box. So we get the leap motion. There's a little manual if you're interested. I mean, I'm not going to show the entire manual to you because it's a really big manual, and to be honest, I know how the leap motion works. If you guys, however, do want me to go over the manual as well, then do let me know down in the comments if you want it. So we get two cables, where we get one which is a longer cable. I've been using this one mainly because the shorter cable might be useful for you. However, for me, this is a way too short cable. If maybe the leap motion is close to a USB device or like a USB outlet for you, this might be the one you can use. However, the big one is really my way to go. So that's what we get inside the box. There's nothing under here, so don't worry, I've checked it already. But yeah, let's check the Leap Motion itself. So this is the Leap Motion. Inside the Leap Motion, there are 3 sensors, one in the left corner, in the middle center, and one on the right corner. Now, there's nothing special about the device itself. It's the size of a little USB stick. On the back, we can see that it says Leap Motion. There's some information right there. Designed in the USA, assembled in China, and model NQLM010. Now there's a little light here, a little indicator LED that shows when it's on or off. Now, without further ado, that is really the unboxing for the Leap Motion. So I'm just going to plug it in, and then we're going to talk about the Leap Motion for a bit, talk about the history, what the Leap Motion is, where it all started, all the good stuff. So that is really the unboxing so far. So summary, you get a card for setup, you get a manual, the Leap Motion, and a long and short cable. That's all you get inside the box. Now, if I'm correct to say, the Leap Motion is 99 USD right now. If I'm wrong, please do correct me in the comments, but that is at least what I think it was when I bought it at the time. So without further ado, let's hop into some questions that you guys gave me in the video. So we finally did the unboxing, we've gone through the intro, and now I have gotten approximately about 20 questions noted down from all the people that have replied on my certain videos in the past. Now, I do want to say that I'll try to go over these questions as best possible. I am no VR or AR expert. I am not part of Leap Motion or anything like that. I bought this device for the intended reason so I could make content for the people that like to know more about it. But please keep in mind that I am no expert on this field. All the answers that I'm giving are information either from sources from websites or from frequent documentation that I've read so far. So without further ado, let's head into all the questions that you guys have sent in to me, because there are a lot. So our first question is from Vatin Pitanilananda. This was given 6 months ago, and I gotta be honest, I should have made a video earlier, but I was busy with so many things, thinking about moving to a new place, setting up everything for YouTube and Twitch content. But the question that Vatin sent in: can this be an effective pointing device versus a traditional mouse? Now, in this video, I will also be giving some demonstration, how I work with the Leap Motion and what you can do with it, plus my own thoughts about the device. However, can this be an effective pointing device? It certainly can. Now, of course, a traditional mouse might be better for most people because you're definitely probably more used to it by using a traditional mouse. However, to my experience, this is actually working out quite well. The moment you place down the Leap Motion, it tracks your fingers tremendously well, especially when you actually move around the screen. So yes, to my experience, this can be definitely an effective pointing device, and I'll show you some demonstration later in the video. So the question that Bradley Reidzig sent in 4 months ago was, would this device work with a PC to control YouTube videos, volume, play, pause, skip, all the good stuff basically. Now, to my experience, I've used traditional mouses all over past years, and I gotta say, the Leap Motion, to my experience, has definitely done tremendously well. I was able to control videos, play and pause, go to new tabs. However, I did have to say that it definitely took me quite some time to get used to it, because I've never really used a Leap Motion or any similar device in the past. Of course, the Leap Motion is a VR AR device. However, it's definitely more different than when we're talking about Oculus Rifts or HTC Vives, or, you know, they're just not comparable. So 3 months ago, an Asian person, or at least a name with Asian characteristics that I am not able to read, sent me the question: I want to use the Leap Motion, but I don't have a plugin for ROS 2. Now, I already answered this question when this question was sent in to me in the video. However, to use the Leap Motion device with ROS 2, you will need a applicable dongle. Now, I am not exactly sure what the name for the dongle is, but I'm quite sure that if you search up ROS 2 compatible with Leap Motion, you'll definitely find the device that I'm talking about. Another question that was sent in 2 months ago from Frederico Art was, could we see it working, please? Winky face. Yes, I would love to give you guys some demonstration for both Unity work, but also just how to use it on the PC itself. However, again, I am not a Leap Motion expert. I'm just trying it out for you guys to see what my thoughts about the device are. So please, no hate towards me. So about a year ago, my first video, a person named Chizek gave me a little bit of a review and feedback. So Chizek said, what you didn't say is that the developers actually don't have a native driver to get it working with Steam VR. But your review is dope. Good job, dude. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that 100%. I apologize for not mentioning that the developers did not include a native driver. However, until today's release, there are native drivers included. So to answer your question, that has been resolved. So there was another question that was sent in by Thomas Close, which was a year ago on the first video. Now, Thomas wrote, definitely sounds cool, not into gaming, but would like to know definitely if this would be useful for browsing PowerPoints or slideshows. Now, as I already mentioned in another person's question, which is a bit similar, I have used this Leap Motion on my desktop. It worked for me fine with PowerPoint, it worked fine with me in Unity, with slideshows, with browsing through web browsers to pause and click on volume changes. Just imagine that all the things you do with your mouse, your traditional mouse, you are able to do with the Leap Motion. Now, of course, it will require some configuration and setup that I am not going through, unless you guys want me to do so. This video is only about me talking about the Leap Motion, an intro, the unboxing, answering questions, and my thoughts, and a little bit of me using the Leap Motion. Now, another question that Roughhouse Pills 123 sent a month ago. We are thinking of buying this for our conference room. What do I need to get this working with a large conference room monitor for controlling PowerPoint presentations? So I see a lot of people sending me questions to use it with PowerPoint presentations and slideshows, which is completely fine and understandable. For my honest opinion, to use it for a conference room, the reason that you first have to, or not really the reason, the question that you have to ask yourself, where am I going to place the Leap Motion and who is going to control it? Because if you are someone who does presentations while standing, the Leap Motion might not be best. Of course, if you're doing a presentation with a VR headset on, you can basically clip the Leap Motion on the VR system, whether you glue it on there, you tape it on there, or you 3D print a casing for it. There's a lot of actual ways you can clip it on a VR system. I might be able to do a video on that sometime later. However, again, question yourself, do I give presentations standing or sitting? Standing, I would not advise the Leap Motion because you will have to either hold it or you'll have to like somewhere place it on your chest. Sitting, however, is definitely perfect for the Leap Motion. I highly advise it for PowerPoint presentations, for slideshows. It is honestly a great device and it's still up to date till this time. Another question that was sent in by Uneven Lab 1 year ago. Hey man, nice video and thanks for giving us your opinion. Thank you for the kind words. May I ask you if you tried Leap Motion with a AutoCAD or Blender or any other 3D modeling software? Now, in today's video, I will also be showing my case with Unity. I have not used it with AutoCAD or Blender, however, I used both programs in the past without the Leap Motion. But to my honest opinion, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but since Unity is able to use the Leap Motion, I'm quite sure there are possible ways to do the same with Blender or AutoCAD. So a question that was sent in by Arno Ubels, which was 4 days ago, so quite recent, was what software do you use for the mouse function like scrolling and all? Now, I use two software programs, one for setting up and configuring the Leap Motion, which is Ultra Leap Tracking, and I use another program for scrolling and clicking and all the functions for like a traditional mouse, which is called Touch Free. Now, I will link down in the description both these websites where you can download these Ultra Leap programs. They're completely free. They are from the traditional people that made the Leap Motion, so don't worry, it's not some scuffed website. I got you covered. So 1 year ago, a person by the name That Loser Girl from Next Door asked me the question, well, not really a question, but she sent me a comment. I bought one last year, but dropped it so many times I might buy a new one. I just bought the Quest 2 recently, I didn't know you could use both. Now, with all the VR systems out there, a lot of things that people do, if you are not able or if you are not financially stable enough to buy any other VR hand tracking device other than the Leap Motion, the Leap Motion is a great, and I really mean this, a great alternative for using hand tracking. I have used this in games like Bone Divided. I have used it especially in VR chat for a long time. The hand tracking for today is incredible. They have recently uploaded their new program called Gemini, and the finger tracking is so well done. What I would recommend for the people who like to use VR is 3D print a casing, or basically tape or glue the Leap Motion to your VR system and try it for yourself. You don't need the official controllers. The Leap Motion works perfectly well with any VR device or game out there. A year ago, a person by the name called Gail Agassi has asked me the question, "Hi, I have the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. If I connect it to PC via Oculus Link cable, will I be able to use the Leap Motion controller? And what hand tracking experience have I for you?" So for the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset, or any VR headset in particular, connecting the Oculus Link with the Leap Motion will work. Again, what I would recommend doing is connecting the Leap Motion either to your VR if possible, or otherwise connect it to your PC by maybe having an extended cable. Now, the Leap Motion I would attach to the front part of a VR system, and then it will automatically track your hand motion. Again, my alternative for that is attaching the Leap Motion to your VR system at the front, and the hand tracking is phenomenal. Another person with a Japanese or Chinese or Asian name with characteristics that I'm not able to read, which was a year ago, said, "I bought it 8 years ago and it is in my desk drawer." I have to be reasonable and I have to be right about what he says or she. Yes. So another person with Asian characteristics that I'm not able to read, but it was a year ago, said, "I bought it 8 years ago and it is in my desk drawer." Now, I'm sorry to hear that, but I have to agree and disagree. The Leap Motion 8 years ago wasn't really the Leap Motion as it is today. They have made and produced a new Leap Motion tracking device. However, even the traditional old one, or the actual one that we're talking about today, is still phenomenal. When they uploaded and produced Gemini, their new tracking software, everything changed, and I gotta say the tracking and the hand motion is phenomenal till today. A question from a year ago, which was sent in by 16-bit Potato, nice name, with a year ago, will the Leap Motion work for Valve Index Steam games such as Half-Life Alyx or Boneworks? Yes, it will, and it will always will. Because again, the Leap Motion has been working with all the VR systems out there. Whether that's an Oculus Quest, an Oculus Rift, a HTC Vive, the Valve Index, or whatever you're using, the Ultra Leap. Yes, they will work, and I've tried it myself, and the hand tracking is phenomenal. For 99 bucks, that is incredibly cheap for what you get. A year ago, a person by the name Mocking Owl sent me a question. You think it is possible to add an extension USB cable so you can walk around with your headset? Also, what type of USB device this device uses? So the device itself uses a USB Type 3.0. Now, yes, I would highly advise using an extension cable. Why? Because when you're using VR, you're going to be walking around a lot unless you're sitting down. Now, that extra space and extra radius that it gives you highly is advanceable for you. So I would highly recommend using an extension cable. We've got 3 questions left, because I mean there are more, but I have to make it a bit short because I don't want the video to be that long. A question 1 year ago sent in by Scorpio King. Will this work with the first Oculus Quest, and can I use it while my link cable is plugged into the computer? So with the first Oculus Quest, which is a lot of years ago when it was produced, it will work. I am not really sure how well it will work because I used to own the first Oculus Quest. However, I don't have it today, so I haven't tried it out myself. It might be good to do some more research on YouTube or on Google or Wikipedia or wherever you find your resources to find some more information about that. However, what I do claim by is that most VR systems, including probably the first one, definitely will work well. So yes, I highly admire that they will work well for you. 1 year ago, a person by the name Leslie sent me the question, when will it be available as native Apple M1 computers, or to speak specifically, the M1 computer chip or CPU that Apple uses? So nowadays, the Leap Motion is supported by both Linux, Apple, and Windows. Now, with the Apple M1 computers or the M1 chips they are using as the CPR processor, they do work. It is all USB Type 3 connected. The M1 chip is not interfering anywhere with the Leap Motion, so don't worry, you can just use it as you want. Biggest Dickus sent me the question 10 months ago. Would it be working on a Linux PC or laptop? Like I just announced to the person with the question about the M1, yes, it does work with the M1, it does work with Linux, it does work with iOS or Apple, and it does work with Windows. I know that I just said iOS, but I meant Apple macOS. Yes, all operating systems do work with the Leap Motion, so no need to worry. Okay, so let's have a look at their website. So Ultraleap has been around for a very long time. A lot of people know, probably if you're interested in the Leap Motion, when this came back. Now you can see from the video there are a lot of examples how this can be used. You can see it's being used in cars. And trust me, Ultraleap doesn't only do Leap Motion controllers, they do so much more. But when we're looking about their website, they're mainly talking about hand tracking and motion sensoring. Now you can see digital worlds that feel human. Now I gotta say, Ultraleap, and especially for the Leap Motion, have made such a tremendous leap. And that sounds funny because I know it's part of the name, but they did make a lot of progress, a big progress. Now looking at the website, it's very clean, very well made, a lot of actually valuable targets for visually designs. No controllers, no wearables, no touchscreens, just natural interaction. Basically what they're meaning, there's no controllers, nothing that you physically need to hold, it's just your finger motion. As you can see, these are actually the devices that I wanted to talk about. Because most of you guys know the Ultraleap Motion sensor, the old one that's like the chromatic one. And now we're looking at two new things that came out. And I'm really, really stoked to see if I might be able to So there are two new devices that came out for the Leap Motion. So Ultraleap has announced two new devices, and I am stoked to see what they bring. Now, I am no way partnered with Leap Motion. So Ultraleap has announced two new devices. Now, by no means I am not partnered with Ultraleap. I would love to be partnered with Ultraleap so I can showcase these devices to you. However, I am really stoked to see what they are offering today. So right now we're looking at two things, which is a hand tracking accessory and a touchless interaction controller. Now the Pico Neo 3 Pro, which I'm going to state what it says, add Ultraleap hand tracking to the Pico Neo 3 Pro or Pico Neo 3 Pro I to unlock high value use cases and bring in new users of all ages and levels of technical competency. Now that looks a lot different than the first Leap Motion that we have seen. Of course, this is different. It's definitely a different device as well, but I gotta say it looks tremendously cool. The Ultraleap 3DI, this is the one I've been talking about, the new Ultraleap motion sensor. Now, it looks a lot cleaner, it looks a lot better, and I think they also made it a lot wider. The Ultraleap 3DI is a ruggedized hand tracking camera designed for connection to public interactive screens. Funny enough, they said Dooh, D-O-O-H. Now, Dooh is a company that I used to work with at the company that I currently work as in Improvers. Now, Dooh is a company that does a lot of hand tracking, AR, VR, neo-designed devices, but also maintaining screens. Now, they talk about retail, museums, theme parks, and more. Now, funny enough, some of you might have gone to the McDonald's or a Burger King or wherever you have been, and these screens are motion sensorless. That means that you don't have to hold anything or touch anything. All you have to do is just tap the screen and it does it for you. Now, the Ultraleap 3DI probably is not the one that is in showcase in those devices, but it's part of the systematic coherence. Yes, these programs are made to help you to... So, some of you might have gone to the Burger King or the KFC or the McDonald's, wherever you have been, and you'll probably find those screens to order which are sensorless, but they are hand tracking possible. Now, I'm not sure if Ultraleap is the company who supports those screens, but that is one example of hand tracking motion. Now, looking further, they have gone so well through the process of upgrading things. They have made so many things more different, so many new devices coming in, so many new devices coming in, like haptic devices, haptic suits. It is incredible how VR AR technology is progressing by the minute. It's crazy. Now, I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Ultraleap. Again, I would love to be able to partner with Ultraleap and showcase as many devices as possible. So who knows, there might be some official Krill Leap Motion collaboration coming up. I'm not sure, but I would love to see some. So being in Unreal Engine, we need the Ultraleap tracking content, the hand modules, and then we need the hands overlap plugin that I'm showcasing you right now. So when we hit play, you can see that the leap motion is tracking my hands, as you can see. So to answer your question, Unreal Engine does work with the leap motion. So someone else asked me the question, does it work with Unity? Now in Unity, you will need the Ultraleap tracking software that you can get from Ultraleap, their website as well. Now you can also get this from the Unity website. They both support this software. So to answer your question, it does work in Unity. Now I am not a 3D expert, I'm just testing for you guys if it works. So currently I am using Unity 2021-27F1, that's the one I've been using for creating worlds in games. However, to showcase you right now with the tracking plugins that I've put in, it does work. In a second you'll see that I can use the leap motion with my hand tracking. So when we are finally done compiling the C# scripts, you'll see that it points blank in. So third party Ultraleap tracking, then we go to examples, then we go to hands, and once you double tap here, it will open up this game for a game. Now you can see once we start and hit play, it's going to load our tracking and I'm able to use the hands, as you can see. So yes, it does work in Unity. So the most interesting part that people have also asked me is like, what are my thoughts about the leap motion from Ultraleap? Now So I bought the device a couple of years ago, and I've used it frequently enough for VR mainly. I've tried using it while building 3D worlds, while working in Unity or Unreal Engine. However, it came to the case that that wasn't really my expertise. Now, that is not to say that it's not well made for those programs, because it is. If you really are somebody who likes to use hand tracking sensors like those, then yes, the leap motion is definitely one I would advise. Now, I gotta say, leap motion, especially 8 years ago, was a bit inactive. They weren't really actually up to date with the most recent technology, but with the current date of today, which is the 13th of October 2022, they have made tremendous leaps. And yes, I know it's a fun jokey word to say. So I do want to say that Ultraleap has made tremendous steps. I gotta say that they made incredible work. They made so many progressively steps upwards to a more successful front. But I gotta say, yes, I'm very positive about the leap motion. I'm looking forward to reviewing more of their devices, so maybe on a later stage we'll be able to do a collaboration. But for now, I gotta say, the hand tracking, the programs for Gemini software, working with Unreal Engine and Unity, being busy with working on presentations and slideshows and PowerPoints, they cover everything really well. Their documentation wasn't as good as it is today. Their software has been upgraded to Gemini 4.0. So yes, I am incredibly satisfied with what they have delivered. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this really big in-depth video about the leap motion. A lot of people have requested me to do so. If there are any questions, then please let me know down in the comments what you guys would like to know. If you like this video, then please hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell to always stay up to date with my newest videos. And if you really want to support me the best way possible, then please consider subscribing. So I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting me through this journey, helping me being able to do what I do. And honestly, I would love to do more reviews on more products. So if you guys have any ideas, do let me know in the comments what you would like to see on my channel. I want to say thank you for watching. It means the world to me, and I hope to do more for you guys. So yes, it's been a while. I'm back, but we're getting through there. Anyway, guys, I wish you guys the best out there. Thank you for watching once again. I'll catch you guys later.